Hi guys, thought I'd do something a little bit different this week. Instead of commentating on the race as I was going along, I've recorded it and I'm going to talk you through some of the key moments in the race. This is the Thursday crit race organised by Alex and the Ratio racing team. This is the Criterium Largo race. It's a 3.8 kilometre circuit, 51 metres of climbing. And it was quite a gentle start really. I didn't feel like we were pushing too hard, quite quickly settled down. There's a few red numbers, but we certainly didn't shoot right off the line as you do in some races. So this course is quite interesting. There's ups and downs, and the roads are quite close together. You can see on the left hand side there, that's the return leg, and it goes in and out from a central point, and there's hairpins at each end. So there's this long, gentle 2-3% slope, comes all the way up. I'm spending a little bit of time on the front here. Big crowd as well, 55 riders, so quite a good field. Not really pushing anything here, sort of 3, touching 4 watts around that hairpin, and then we start coming back down, sort of crests at that point. It's quite good to get a bit of recovery coming down here, sort of 1-2%. And then at the bottom of this hill, there's a sharp left-hander, and then that goes into the main climb. So we have this sort of steeper section, which is split in two. So there's this initial section, sort of 6-7%, it flattens out and then starts again, another 6 or 7%, and that brings us up to the top, round the hairpin, and then it's a 5%, 8% around that corner slope, back round to the start line, which is just a little bit uphill. So to sort of speed up, it all started off quite gentle. So we'll just go through this middle part of the race. It was 10-lap race in total, each lap 3.75 kilometres, so around about 37 kilometres in total. And it was all fairly straightforward initially. Everyone was sort of sitting in on those descents and then pushing it on that climb. That clearly was going to be a deciding factor towards the end of the race, coming so close to the final finish line. Everyone's sort of taking turns on the front. No one really getting worried. And no one really making any moves at this early stage. So here we are, this is lap 3. I just sort of slowed it down here because this is where I think I got caught a little bit there and then pushed on, and I thought, I'll just put in a little dig up this hill. So you can see I'm lifting it there, 500 watts, 7 watts a kilo. Just went on the front, stood up on my pedals on my bike. Just thought, let's just try and stretch it out, early days. See if I can put people under a bit of pressure. And I think we maybe lost 1 or 2 riders out the back, but actually everyone sort of was still quite fresh, I think, so they managed to stick with me. So see on the left there, looking back down the course there's no one struggling back up the hill. So zoom on a little bit more, sort of settled into the middle of the race now. And again, everyone just taking turns, no big attacks really. Occasionally someone might go on the front just like that, 5 watts a kilo just for 10 seconds or something, but there was no big accelerations, no 7-8 watts a kilo attacks on the flat. I think everyone was just saving it for this hill, which is coming around pretty much every 5 minutes or so. Using this little uphill, I thought I could attack into that hairpin there, put a little bit of pressure on people. It strings out quite quickly on RGT. So if you, because it's uphill and then into the downhill, if you're at the back of that and it's strung out, you can quite quickly find yourself a long way off the front. So I think my little attack there, I think we dropped 1 or 2 riders. So by halfway into the race, we were just down left to a front group of 15. And then it really did settle down. Everyone quite relaxed. Although at this point, you can see as I come around this corner, I'm at the back of the pack. And I was 20-25 metres off the pack. And I was quite lucky that no one at the front was really pushing it. But I did find myself having to push to get back into that bunch. I didn't want to lose that elastic, lose that draft saving. Even though it's uphill and that draft effect is reduced, that was a little bit of a concern for me there. So we're halfway through the race. Group's still around 15. Got 3 of the Ratio racing guys in this pack. They're in the black kit with the orange. They look quite similar to me actually, but they haven't got any of the branding on their kit. I thought maybe they might have sent someone up the road, tried to create a bit of an attack, but they were all sort of sitting in together. But there were a couple of good riders here that I recognised. Jury, he's the Belgian rider, he's good. Zwanapol. A couple of other guys as well that I recognise, and then a few newer names as well. And they're just a good few laps where we were just cruising around, putting miles in the legs. Everyone pushing a little bit up that hill. That was just sort of wearing everyone down a little bit. But no one was really getting away. No one getting dropped. No one attacking around those hairpins, which did provide some good opportunities. As I showed earlier, you could time it right and drop one or two. But I think everyone knew it was going to come down to that final hill. But here we are, 10k to go. Mad of Swedish made a little attack off the front there, 5-6 watts a kilo. I thought, I'll go with him. We'll just put a bit of pressure on coming up to that hairpin, use that technique again. I got on the front and we got a little gap there that you can see it's pretty strung out. Down to 8th place is 40 metres. Greeno, NP, Mard, THRSDY, we all sort of got together there in a little group of 5 and we had a 50-metre head start there. I thought, maybe we've got a chance here. We've got 2.5 laps left to go. We worked together. I thought, put on the front there a few red numbers. I thought these guys might try and just work with me a little bit. Rasso racing, they had one guy, Greeno. I thought it'd be good if he could push on and they might then allow their other 2 guys to sit up. We got to the hill, but unfortunately, whether it was just the power of the guys behind trying to close that gap, or just not really the appetite from those front 5 guys, including myself, we just didn't really make the most of that opportunity. We could have been away a little bit more. I think we could have dropped a couple of the guys like Toffoli and Jury, who are strong guys. So after that, came back together with one fairly comfortable lap 9, and then it was onto the final lap. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed about that attack and that little break. Thought that could have worked. But here we are then, penultimate time up this climb. Again, no one really attacking there. Everyone's sort of saving their legs, I think, for this final lap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just talk through the final 2k. The first 2k of this lap was pretty straightforward. Downhill, up this little hill, up to this hairpin. So I'm just going to play this. This is playing at double speed. It will take a couple of minutes for us to get to the finish line. But I put in quite a big dig there, just thought I'd try and stretch it out. But it didn't really work out that time. Actually, so I'm just playing this in normal time. So the pack all came back together. So we've got 1.8k to go. And it's definitely going to be coming down to that final steep hill. We're cruising at 45k. Look at that, I'm doing 100 watts. I'm really trying to take it steady down this hill, 2%, just under 100 watts there, making sure I don't fall off the back, but just having a little save of the energy, ready for that final climb where I know at some point it's going to blow up. I was also a bit cautious about this final corner. If you're on the front, it kicks you out to the right hand side a little bit, and that allows the riders at the rear to sort of nip through on the left hand side. So I thought that could be a little bit of an advantage. So there's another reason why I was just easing off on the power, just trying to hang at the back, make sure I get that left hand lane to go around that corner. You can see here, like, I'm in a good position here, a few riders ahead of me, all on the outside, so I come round the inside, I've got a perfect line there. And I thought, I'm on the inside, I'm at the front, let's just go for it now, let's just go all in. So 10 watts a kilo, 800 watts, still 800 metres to the line. I know it's going to be hard up this hill. Everyone's there, they're sort of sticking with me, only 3-4 metres behind me. The top 8 they're all within 10 metres. Thought maybe I could have snapped it a bit there, but eased off a little bit on this flat bit. Just quick catch of the breath. Then into that second section. Even that so-called flat bit is 3%, but at that point, look at that. Toffoli zoomed past me at 12, 13 watts a kilo. He really kicked strong there. Jury as well. I was struggling a bit to get back on the wheel there. But I managed to just grab onto these guys around the hairpin. We managed to keep our pace up, and that's where it did start to get stretched. Look, 8th place is now 20 metres behind me. I've got a little bit of a draft here. I am struggling a little bit to hold onto the wheel here. I've got Hartwald just in front of me, and I knew it was an uphill finish, so if I can just stay on his wheel, get what draft I can, and then just really attack just at that last minute, I should just get past him, grab 4th place. But those front 3, they were gone. They were 50, 60 metres up the road. So yeah, it was a good finish. 3 seconds behind the winner, but we were 2-3 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. It was a good attack. Managed to make the most of it. So yeah, hard race, but set some good power numbers there. Pretty happy with that. Hopefully that's given you a little bit of insight into a few tips and tricks for crit racing. And join me this weekend where I'll be riding for the Project Echelon Amateur Series. And there's 2 crit races, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. First race is 2.2k with a little bit of a climb up to the finish. And then the race on Sunday is a 1k crit circuit, which is much more of a level race. But there's a few tight corners. So yeah, wish me luck. Thanks guys, cheers for watching, and hope you enjoyed it.